Today we're going to learn a little something about a twin stick. I tried to make this video before, but when I tried to make it I had some interruptions, so we're going to try this again. So basically, with a twin stick, this is how you have to look at it. Okay, so there's various types of twin sticks. This particular one that you're looking at right here is called a forward fork. Okay, so it's a 16 speed, or Spicer company, Spicer Dana Corporation, is who made most of these twin stick transmissions, other than the ones that were in Max. Mac made their own transmissions. You know, you had the duplex, the quadruplex, the triplex, blah 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 blah. And then you had some very special ones, like you had the 6-on-2 sticks, or the you know, stuff like that. But those were just, you know, specialized things, not really, you know, true twin sticks. Okay, so how this works is real simple when you really think about it. If you ever drove a 1318, or even if you drove like an old, you know, like say if you drove an old Ford truck that had a 2-speed rear axle, this is kind of similar to that idea. And basically what it is the way it works on the real thing, okay, is you have your main transmission, which is the one on the left with reverse there, and then you have what's called your auxiliary, or your compound, or your brownie, as a lot of truckers call them, on the right. Okay, and then the way this works is each gear on the left in the main, like say for example right now we're in, you know, first gear here. Let me go ahead and see if I can't move that over. Okay, so there we go. So for first gear right here where we're at right now, you got 4 gears. So say for example 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's in the first gear. Now, the way most drivers are going to shift it is going to be like 2, 3, and 4. And then you're going to switch to second. You're going to reset this to second on the right over here. And then you're just going to continue on through the pattern. And I'm going to show you guys some upshifting, some downshifting. Now, just to be very clear, I've never drove a twin stick in real life. The only time I've ever even come close to this is on this simulator. But I feel like it's pretty realistic, because you can miss gears, and I may show you that as well. I may show you, like, I may purposely miss a gear and just show you, like, yeah, it's possible. Also, as a little bit of a side note to explain my experience, I'm actually a real-life truck driver. I've been driving for 8 years. I have experience in 10 speeds and 15-speed transmissions. At the moment, I'm in auto shift, as I'm sure a lot of other guys are too. Because that's where the companies are going, which is very unfortunate. I feel like these older trucks would be a lot more fun to drive, as far as, you know, all of the, you know, experience and fun and stuff like that. But there's definitely some horror stories out there. I've heard guys talk about, you know, these auxiliary transmissions used to get stuck, and they would have to, you know, because it's connected by a linkage behind, because you got 2 gearboxes under the truck. So the one on the left is in front, the one on the right is in back, and it's connected through like a linkage, right? So then what will happen is, if, say, this linkage gets stuck or hung up in the cold, they'd have to go out there and like pry it loose or whatever. I've heard stories like that, and that really doesn't sound fun, especially like if it's like 10 degrees outside and you're having to lay on the ground and do that. That just doesn't sound very pleasant. But you know, I do think they're cool. I think they're interesting, and so I'm going to show you guys a little something about it today. So right now we're in 1, 2. And like I said, that's where most guys are going to start out unless they have a super heavy load. So we're going to shift to 3rd, shift to 4th. Now here's where it gets a little interesting. So once I got into 4th gear and 2nd, as you can see, I'm not going very fast. I mean, like 10, 11 miles an hour is like as good as you're going to do in 2-4, right? So then we're going to go to, or excuse me, 1-4. So now we're going to go to 2, and now we're in 2-3. So we're getting up close to 20 mile an hour. And we're going to go to 2-4, and that's going to put us right there, okay, at 20 mile an hour. Now we're going to go to 3-2, right? That's going to start pumping us up past 20. So what I've learned about this, and I don't know, maybe you guys could throw some light at it, but just had experience with them. But it seems like each of these, you know, 4 gears in the auxiliary gives you this small increment, like, as you can see, and that's kind of what I meant. Okay, so I did that on purpose a little bit just to kind of show you. You can see that it is possible to miss a gear. I just wanted to make that clear so you guys aren't like, oh, it's just a game, it's not realistic. Well, I've drove trucks in real life, and this is pretty much how you flip gears, like what I'm doing right now. This is exactly what you do. So that aside, I feel like it's pretty close. It's probably not, you know, identical, but you're never going to get that out of a simulator. So, okay, so now that we're in 4th gear, I'm going to show you guys some downshifting. So, we're going to go to 3rd. We're going to wait till we get 20. We're going to go to 2nd. We'll go to 2nd. We're going to get down to about 10, and then we'll throw it in the compound. See how I did that? See that compound plus the main shift? Shifting both sticks at once. So, as you can see, I missed a gear there, so that's totally possible to do. Now, see, like right here, this would be like if you're making a turn, right? Because you see I'm going really slow. And if I really wanted to, I could slow it down and go, or even like push the clutch in a little bit and just make a turn and go. Bust through the compound and the main over here. We're going to do one of those compound shifts again. You guys ready for this? So I'm going to shift the aux and the main at the same time, basically. How about that? As I said, you can make a turn like this. But anyway, now we're going to run through the gears. To show you guys how fast I can do this. So we're rolling through the gears right now. We're going to bust it up to about 2,000. We're going to drop it in 3rd. Oops. As you can see, it's totally possible. You see that? See, I missed 3rd right there. It's totally possible to do that. And that's realistic. I mean, like I said, I've drove trucks in real life. Most of these transmissions work about the same as far as like mod synchronized or whatever. And that's very realistic. I mean, if your RPMs are not right and your speed's not right, it ain't going in. Okay, so we're just going to roll through. Now, there's one hill up here that, you know, kind of shows everything, but that's not, we're not going to worry about that. Because, like I said, this is just a tutorial to show you kind of how it works. I'm not trying to get, like, super in-depth realistic or nothing. But I am going to do another one of those compound shifts. You guys ready? And that'd be like if I was stopping at a red light. Then I'm going to reset it. Right, so I stopped at the red light. Both sticks in neutral. There we go.